Hey everyone, and welcome back to Wordy Tales, where we explore life's big lessons through engaging stories. Today, we're diving into something truly powerful, the incredible strength you gain when you learn to control your own mind. We'll be telling a short story that beautifully illustrates the virtues of honesty and discipline. So, get ready to be inspired. Imagine a small, bustling village nestled beside a majestic forest. In this village lived a young man named Kale. Kale was known for his sharp wit and his incredible artistic talent. He loved to paint, and his landscapes were so vivid they almost seemed to breathe. But Kale had one significant challenge. He struggled with self-discipline. His mind often wandered, pulling him away from tasks, and he found it hard to resist immediate gratification, even if it meant sacrificing long-term goals. One day, the village announced a grand art competition. The prize was a scholarship to the prestigious Royal Academy of Art, a dream for Kyle. The theme was the essence of nature, and all entries had to be submitted in 3 months. Kale was ecstatic. This was his chance. He immediately began sketching, full of enthusiasm. However, as days turned into weeks, Kale's old habits started to creep back in. He'd sit down to paint, but then a friend would call, or a new game would come out, or he'd simply feel like taking a nap. His mind would whisper, "Just 5 more minutes," or "You can always do it tomorrow." He'd promise himself he'd work harder later, but later often never came. His canvas remained largely blank. Meanwhile, another young artist, Ilara, also from the village, was diligently working. Ilara wasn't as naturally gifted as Kale, but she possessed an unwavering discipline. Every morning she dedicated 3 hours to her painting no matter what. Her mind, too, sometimes tried to tempt her with distractions. But Ilara had a technique. She'd acknowledge the thought, say to herself, "Not now, I have a task," and gently redirect her focus back to her brushstrokes. She was honest with herself about her goals and disciplined in her efforts. As the deadline loomed closer, Kale found himself in a panic. He had barely started his masterpiece. His mind, once his ally in creativity, now tormented him with regret and self-reproach. He felt a strong urge to simply give up, to tell himself he wasn't good enough. But then a thought struck him. What if he was honest with himself, not just about his shortcomings, but also about his potential? What if he stopped letting his wandering mind dictate his actions? Kale decided to make a drastic change. For the last 2 weeks, he imposed strict discipline upon himself. He woke early, meditated for a few minutes to calm his thoughts, and then painted for hours, silencing every distracting impulse. When his mind suggested he take a break, he'd gently remind himself of his goal, of the scholarship, and of the joy he felt when truly creating. He started to feel a newfound sense of control, a power he hadn't known he possessed. He worked tirelessly, pushing past fatigue and self-doubt. In his haste, he considered taking a shortcut, perhaps copying a famous artist's style slightly and claiming it as his own to save time. But then the value of honesty, a lesson his grandmother had always taught him, rang in his ears. "True beauty," she'd say, "comes from an honest heart and honest effort." Kale scrapped his shortcut idea and poured his unique vision onto the canvas, even if it meant working through the night. On the day of the competition, Kale submitted his painting, still a bit rough around the edges compared to what he envisioned, but undeniably his own, born from an intense period of self-control, honesty, and discipline. Ilara, with her consistent effort, also presented a beautiful, serene landscape. When the results were announced, to everyone's surprise, Kale won. The judges were captivated by the raw emotion and unique perspective in his work, recognizing the immense effort and passion that had gone into it, especially in the final stages. They also commended his innovative style, which he had developed independently, thanks to his commitment to honesty. Kale was overwhelmed with joy, but more importantly, with a profound realization. It wasn't just his talent that won him the scholarship. It was the moment he decided to take control of his mind, to practice discipline, and to remain honest with himself and his art. He understood that his mind, when uncontrolled, was his biggest obstacle, but when harnessed with purpose and integrity, it became his most powerful tool. Elara, though not winning the top prize, was recognized for her consistent quality and dedication, earning a special mention and a mentorship opportunity. Both artists learned valuable lessons about themselves and the power of their choices. So, what can we take away from Kale and Elara's story? It's simple. Mastering your mind is the first step to mastering your life. When you practice discipline, even in small ways, you build mental fortitude. When you're honest with yourself about your goals and your efforts, you pave the way for genuine achievement. Your mind is an incredible force. Learn to guide it, and there's truly no limit to what you can accomplish. Remember, every great journey begins with a single step, and often that step is taken right in your own mind. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of the Wordy Tales community. If you enjoyed this story and found it inspiring, please hit that like button, share it with someone who might need to hear this message, and don't forget to subscribe for more tales that will uplift and empower you. Until next time, keep dreaming big and staying disciplined.